Welcome, welcome, welcome to day one of East Coast Clash. I am Judy Bench.
Good morning, Derby World. My name is JR. It's great to have everyone's company wherever you might be taking this live feed right across this big, brown, fantastic land we call Oz as we get ourselves set for the first game here on track 2, Hitsquad from Brisbane City up against Victorian Men's Roller Derby. It's great to be alongside of you this morning, Jude. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It has.
You know, jumping in, helping out wherever possible.
Oh, I know.
As per always, we'll just pay respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. We acknowledge that this event is taking place on the Wurundjeri Wurrung land. Always was, always will be.
So not too far off then from getting this one underway.
And thankfully we do have some of our lovely representatives who managed to come down from Brisbane, considering everything going on up there at the moment.
100%. And our thoughts are with all the other BCR skaters and officials that couldn't make it down for this weekend.
And the Sun States skaters as well. When
you are very much in our thoughts, and if you're at home and have access to and can watch the live feed, check in, let us know you're here, because we're here, and we miss you all. So stay safe, and hopefully this thing passes quickly and doesn't leave too much destruction behind.
Just bringing up the roster. So we have for Brisbane City Rollers 000 Rumpelstiltskin, 182 Bobbin Basher, number 3 Denominator, 401 Cutthroat Kings, 54 Drop Lair, who is captain, 708 Daly, 999 Iron Duchess, 128 Scottish, 221 Bad Wolf, 24 Riley, and number 6 Chaotic K.
Nicely done. We've got some technology we're using for the first time here, I might point out to Jude. And if we do get it wrong, bear with us, Derby fans. But we'll do our absolute level best to make sure that this broadcast is everything you want and more. Moving along then to the Victorian Men's Roller Derby, we have 007 Honey Collider, 117 Faster Chief, 13 Cyclo, 23 Gamma Star, 252 Hot Jam Donut, number 4 Pony Boy, 75 Just Incredible, 900 Chaos, 0130 Bruiser, 12 Inconceivable, 200 Machine, 238 Cheng Tave, 269 Other Sin, 51 Sin and the Captain, number 86 Bonnie Jovi, rounding out the Victoria Men's Roller Derby. Back live now. These pictures coming in to you from the Darebin Community Sports Centre. We thank them very, very much for basically allowing us to come here and wreak havoc for the next 3 days.
Very much so. Definitely going to be wreaking some havoc. We've had havoc.
Havoc on the Hume.
Havoc on the way to getting it all set up.
Yes.
Considering, as we mentioned, having teams unfortunately dropping out last minute because of weather. And when I say weather, I am saying that very, very understated.
Yes, very much.
But yeah, we've had all kinds of fun trying to set up, and fun is very sarcastic. But yeah, we've got this underway, and now we're just waiting on officials to be in position and the go-ahead to be given.
Yep. A couple of key matchups I'm really looking forward to here. Obviously, on the Jammer start line, there's one there that I was hoping for to see, and I'm going to see it first up. We haven't had to wait too long. Cheng Tay for Victoria Men's Roller Derby, and it looks like Drop Blair for BCR, the two jammers eagerly awaiting on the Jammer start line. And make no mistake, Derby fans, when I say these two will leave absolutely nothing on the track when this is all done and dusted. They know one way, and it's flat out.
Flat out is definitely the right description for these two. We've got a little bit of dancing happening on the Jammer lane at the moment. A
little bit of loose groovery going on the Jammer start line.
Chaotic K's signature.
Must point out too, this is obviously the first roller derby tournament game, anything for the year of 2025. The statewide Stampede, Jude, which obviously you and I are very much involved in, hasn't actually started yet. So this is a good opportunity for some teams that have just come off a bit of a summer break and looking at implementing things that may have been worked on in that time. So we're really, really keen to see what teams are doing, if anything. Usually it's pretty passé, everyone's kind of doing the same thing. So,
but it's always good when you get the chance to play interstate teams, because that's where you get the
exactly
mix-up
right.
of plays and all that side of things happening.
And we've got teams from, as we've just mentioned, BCR obviously down from Brisbane. We've got teams from Central Coast, obviously New South Wales. We've got teams across from South Australia. We've got Ward all the way from WA.
Convict City,
up from Tassie. So this tournament is very well represented, and there are superstars wherever you look, which is just, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it.
And so today is absolutely jam-packed with games on track 2.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, track 1 was going to be having the Chaos Clash this evening. It's actually going to be moved to track 2, so we can have it all on this track.
Cool.
Which I absolutely adore, because then I don't need to move much. I'm pretty much on track 2 the whole day commentating.
Well said. I'm going to hand it over to you to get things going then, Jude.
Okay, first whistle. Let's see, we've got Chantay making a very quick escape from the pack, going around. Drop lead just through now. About a half track behind. Chantay going through very quick points. However, there has been a bit of a call of cut track at the same time the call-off was happening, so it's power jam to start the next jam.
And that's not what Chang was looking for. We can say this now because we're not going live into the stadium, but from where we're sitting, that was directly in line with us. And just on the toe stops here, just one of the little hop, skips and jumps, the toe stops did go out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Chang.
Right in front of Disaster Chief on the outside.
Yeah, well picked up. So Chang Tae will start this jam in the penalty box 4-0-1, then jamming for the Hitsquad. It is Cutthroat Kings. So the initial pass is all done and dusted, coming through now to turns 1 and 2. It's all points from here on in. Nicely done. 4 points for Hitsquad. And that jam was called off quickly.
It looks like there might have been some kind of skate malfunction, just looking at the way that Sin is skating back to the bench.
He has snapped, from what I could see, he has snapped his wheel clean off the truck arm. So the truck comes down into a T and it spreads out. You've got your wheels either side. One of the actual arms is actually snapped off. So that's, if it's not that, then it's just a wheel.
Okay, so who do we have up now? It's still a power jam. However, Chantay has just been released. I believe we have Riley. Not quite sure. Yeah, Riley.
Yep, it is Riley jamming, yep.
Chantay actually threw out full lead, making quick work of it. We do have one BCR blocker currently still in the penalty box, and that was Scottish, just being released. I will just take a moment to mention that our penalty box is actually sponsored today.
Hey!
And that is by the amazing First Aid Medics Deadly Sports Plus.
Hey, so we can mention that when the skaters do go into the Deadly Sports First Aid class? No, I've got it all wrong.
Just Deadly Sports Plus.
I might take the glass off and actually read the notes. That would help, wouldn't it? You had one job, JR, and you couldn't get that right. It's a long day ahead. Strap yourselves in, folks.
So with the jam being called, we are now up to 11 for VMRD versus 4 for BCR.
So as we get jam number 4 underway, looks like 117 Disaster Chief. No, sorry, Faster Chief. I got this wrong the last time I called Disaster Chief and Faster Chief. playing and officiating the same game. Pardon me. So it is Faster Chief 117 VMRD making a trip to the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box.
And it looks like Just Incredible has joined them. And that appears to be Bob and Basher getting lead for BCR. Chief has been released from the penalty box.
I got engrossed with what I don't think the Derby fans at home can see, but we can see it on our monitor here, and it actually shows us live who's going into the penalty box and what for
they,
what.
They can see it at home.
Oh,
we've got it set up.
Cool. So we don't have to actually say anything. We could just sit here and what do they say? A picture tells 1,000 words or something? I don't know.
But remember, there are some people who this might be their first game.
Yes, and we welcome them with absolute warm, wide open arms, and we trust that this wonderful, fabulous game that we call roller derby makes some sense to you. If it doesn't, well, throughout the course of this game, Judy and I will do our absolute level best to bring you up to speed with all things derby as we get Jam 5 underway. Nicely done to the inside part of the main straightaway. Jamming for Victoria Men's roller derby. It is Bruiser. Of course, you'll see Bruiser a lot throughout the course of the weekend, playing for VMRD, doing double duties with South Sea roller derby as well.
And we will see that a few times where it's people doubling up. This being a tournament where you can actually play on two chartered teams.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's probably a good thing that they've drawn the line at 2.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think of 3 days of competition. Self-preservation is a huge thing. You've got to look after yourself. Now, if you're not commentating and reffing, or playing and reffing, and commentating, as some people are doing, so it's a big ask. Chang Tae trying to work the pack to the inside part of the main straightaway. BCR having none of it. The recycle was going to happen then for Kings. The Kings managed to find some territory to the outside part of turn number 1, gets on through, picks up lead jammer. Honey Collider making a trip to the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box on a direction.
So just going a little bit further for the Deadly Sports Plus team, for those who aren't in Victoria and have not seen them at a derby event before, Deadly Sports Plus is an Aboriginal-led and LGBTIQA plus SB-led charity providing high-quality training and first aid services for all.
Well said. You should do this commentary thing more. You're good.
I'm doing 3 games in a row.
My God, you're going to catch up to me in a second.
I have 1 game off and then I have another game.
Nice.
I got told, yep, you can talk.
Yep.
Go do as many as you want. And we have Chief out full lead for VMRD. And that appears to be Riley, who's just gone out now on their initial. This is actually a very tight scoring game where there's not much between the two.
No, I didn't think there would be. Just looking at the calibre of skaters you've got on both teams, you've got the likes of Kings, Denom, Scottish, the list goes on. Drop bet, like there's just, I say this a lot in my commentary, there are superstars wherever you look, and in these two teams, that's 100% true. Both teams are very, very evenly matched.
Amy, I definitely agree with that. Sympathies to the refs working with the blue and white uniform versus the white and black uniforms.
Oh, yes.
Definitely can be cause for confusion.
So we have Bob and Basher and Inconceivable, the 2 jammers, out on track as a pack now, coming through turn number 1, right past us, in fact. And it's Inconceivable out the front, number 1-3 for VMRD. Sorry if I drop out, folks. I've just got to sort of tilt my head past the screen and I'm losing my mic as I go, but I'll get a hold of that. So just knocked to the outside part of turn 1 to recycle back almost into the main straightaway there. For Inconceivable, nicely done. The BCR blocker there. I think it's...
That would be Bad Wolf, who is holding the
but
line.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. I'm a bit slow to pick up on the technology.
No, I've watched Bad Wolf a couple of times, so I can actually pick him now.
Yep. That helps.
Yeah.
I find. So the pack now making its way down to turn number 3. They're on the far side of the track from where we're sitting. A couple of skaters take a bit of a tumble at the front of the pack there, but the majority of the action is behind them, the BCR blockers, giving Inconceivable plenty to think about. And the same could be said for Bob and Basher out front for BCR. Looks like Bad Wolf then on a multiplayer being sent to the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box. As this one then comes to an end. Unfortunately, no jammer getting through, no points being added. VMRD, Victoria Men's Roller Derby with a slender lead of just 1 point, 16 playing 15. And we've got just a tick over 19 and a half minutes in this game 1 for East Coast Clash. Jam Timer says, let's get it on. We have Drop Bear jamming for Brisbane City Rollers and Chang Tae jamming for Victoria Men's Roller Derby. Nicely done by Chang, getting out front, picking up lead jammer. Honey Collider then again making another trip to the penalty box. Of course, that's the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box. Not sure what that penalty was for. It's been taken off my screen, but Chang happy just to get the 4 points before calling it off. So it looks like we have 117 Faster Chief VMRD on the jammer start line. Cutthroat Kings rather. Jamming for BCR, Cutthroat looking for some territory to the inside part of, or the outside part of turn 1, not going to happen. But it does happen nicely, coming down into the back straightaway. 117, Faster Chief getting on through, picking up lead jammer. Giving up probably about 3 or 4 metres to Kings. Well, nicely done, Kings. Just sliding on through turn number 4. Really did catch the VMRD blockers. Kind of left napping a little bit there. And for someone of the caliber of Kings, he doesn't need too much territory to be able to get through a pack of blockers. 24-21 in favour of Victoria Men's Roller Derby. And we've got 17 and a half minutes to go as I welcome back Judy to the microphone.
Sorry about that. Having to fix up some tech issues going on. Okay, so we have O'Reilly, it appears, and Bruiser for VMRD. A few tumbles and spills in the pack. Both jammers again being caught and held till we're past the turn 2. Lots of bridging happening. So Just Incredible is heading off to the Deadly Sports penalty box. Both jammers still caught in that pack. And has finally gotten out for lead. Riley is about a quarter of a track behind. So that took over a minute to get lead jammer. This is how tight this game is. Both teams are very strong. And Bruiser has called it from the ground. Don't blame her on that one.
Whilst you were attending to technical issues, there was a jam there where no jammer got through. 2 minutes of sheer pain.
Ooh.
It must be said for the jammers when they're confronted with that scenario. So we have Drop Blair then for Brisbane City Rollers, Chang Tay for Victoria Men's Roller Derby on the jammer start line. Nicely done, Drop Blair just slicing through, picking up lead jammer for Brisbane. There's a pack now coming through into turn number 1. Both teams defensively going to work on these jammers. Certainly Chang Tay having a bit of a tough time of it, but gets through the pack. Giving up probably about a half track behind Drop Blair.
Technically 1.5.
1.5. Oh, yes. No, sorry. Yeah, okay. I get what you did there. So obviously an event like this, Jude, can't happen without some people that really do give up their time, and they do it because they want to and they love the sport. First Aid and ECC sponsored Deadly Sports Plus. We thank you so much for looking after all the skaters and everyone here, in fact, keeping us all safe.
Oh, we've got a team time out for what?
Team time out. Oh, what do we do with all this technology? We got things we could talk about. I'm lost.
I think I want to have a quick look at penalties.
Excellent.
Let's have a look and see what Brisbane has been up to. Okay, relatively clean skating.
Yep.
Noms seems to be the only one with 2 penalties. So you will hear us quite often refer to people by their abbreviated names.
Yes.
So Noms being denominator.
Yep. So nothing really there that would, as a bench manager, I would look at and go, yeah, but obviously as a blocker, Noms would probably look at that and go, okay. Be mindful of it, but it doesn't need anything at the moment.
Still, sometimes can be worth it.
Yep, absolutely. Go across to the other side of the equation. This is a bit more interesting. Honey Collider, also just incredible. The husband and wife duo, both on 2 penalties.
However, 2 jammers have served penalties.
Yeah, on cut track. So again, you look at that data and you think, yeah, no, I'll keep an eye on it. If we're starting to see those sorts of penalties and you're sort of hitting 2, maybe 3, yeah, you'd probably want to address that at half time. Live pictures then, we are back.
And who do we have lining up?
Cutthroat King by the looks of it.
And that looks like Faster Chief.
Yes.
So Kings versus Chief. They
Chief.
both rule the track.
Chief of Kings. Chaotic, just incredible. Denominator, Other Sin, Rump, Inconceivable, Honey Collider, and Scottish are all the skaters that are on track at the moment as the pack comes through into turn number 1 right in front of us. That's where the action's at.
We have Chief going through for lead. Kings about half a track behind. Chief getting some instructions from the bench. And I do believe that was the dulcet tones of Bonnie Jovi yelling out there. Not actually benching, but definitely audible.
Very audible. We talk about superstars of our game, Jude, and names like Just Incredible and Bonnie Jovi and Honey Collider, some of the names, Mad Pixie. There are some skaters that have been doing this gig now for a long, long time. Not to mention the 2 awesome people that are coming to you live from the Darebin Community Sports Centre. This is my 13th year, so...
Yeah, mine as well.
Oh, look at high five. Don't let me hang it, thank you. Cutthroat Kings trying to find some territory to the outside part of turn number 1. VMRD blockers having none of it. Chang Tave likewise, but to the inside part of turn 1 gets on through. Lead jammer VMRD.
And Kim's not far out behind. However, Chaos is currently in the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box, serving a penalty for VMRD.
Yeah, direction of gameplay penalty there for Chaos, unfortunately.
So we've got Chaotic K and Chaos. And they're both about to be on track together.
Good luck calling that one.
Thanks.
Yeah, look, you're a bloody superstar. You'll be fine.
Okay, it looks like we have Chief hiding behind Bottom Basher.
Yep.
Bob and Basher. I can't quite read it from here.
Yep, no, Bob and Basher, 100%.
Yep. Chief tiptoeing through the inside line to get lead. We have K standing in front of, I should say Chaos standing in front of K, but K has gotten the star pass. Chaotic K, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Chief watching the bench, following the instructions being given. And it looks like they are going to run this. So Chief had actually kind of stopped, getting ready to call, and then has been told to keep going, which makes it always fun. And Chaotic K is picking up some points for BCR. Honey Collider going to the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box. And the jam has been called. Currently 41 for VMRD Valkyries to 30 for the Hitsquad.
So that's number 5, one just walking in front of the camera there. Sin off skates completely. He's still got gear on, so I think that's that skate malfunction is possibly what I said. I reckon he's actually snapped the front part of one of his truck, and unless he can get that sorted out, certainly that could be his day done. Unless he can get to Bayside Blades, which is open until 5 o'clock this afternoon. So we're kind of close. Oh, it's probably a good hour drive from here.
Yeah, kind of.
Here to Moorabbin, yeah.
Kind of.
Or maybe someone's coming in a little bit later on this afternoon who can stop by and pick up a pair of skates. I don't know. But unfortunately for Aaron, it's certainly this game is not going to be taking any further part.
So unfortunately, Other Sin needs to rely, Original Sin needs to rely on Other Sin.
That's all right. Cutthroat Kings and Chang Tave, the two jammers on the jammer start line. Oh, nicely done, up on the toe stops, outside part of the main straightaway. Chang Tave, lead jammer, VMRD. What more can I say? Just so quick on his feet. It's beautiful to watch.
It is a bit of a family affair out there for VMRD.
Yes.
You mentioned just before in regards to Honey and Justin, but
yes.
Gamma Star was out on track then too.
Ah. Well, you've got Hot Drum Donut and Sin.
Yeah. Definitely a family affair.
Yeah.
Lining up now, we have Drop Blair versus Faster Chief. That beam dip was just incredible by Drop Blair.
What the hell? That was I don't think I've ever seen that move done that quickly and effectively. I don't.
And on the angle that he did it on.
Oh.
That was insane. And straight through for another pass.
Yep.
VMRD currently has 2 in the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box. So we have Hot Jam Donut and Ponyboy out there as the 2 blockers.
Yep. Chaos in the penalty box, unfortunately, for a multiplayer. Bonnie Jovi for a direction.
And
he's done it again. Or they have done it again. I should get their pronouns. Yeah, but nicely done to the outside part of, I guess, outside part of turn number 1.
He, they.
He, they. Okay, cool. No, I was right. Normally with pronouns, it's a bit of a funny thing for me as a commentator. I generally just refer to the skater as their skater name because then I can't get it wrong and I don't want to offend people
if you make a whoopsie.
So I didn't make a whoopsie.
No, you
for
didn't.
Blair, so...
Hey, and you covered both pronouns.
I did.
It looks like we have Bob and Basher up against Chantave.
Yep. Blocker advantage going the way of Victoria Men's Roller Derby. Unfortunately for Rump of Steel Skin, there was the forearms in that previous penalty, so Rump just having a bit of a chill out in the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box.
Gamma Star's now gone to join them, so...
No.
And 3 apiece.
That's all right.
And Chaotic K is now the jammer for the Hitsquad. And Rumpy has joined back in on the pack.
Oh,
Chan
what?
with a nice little apex there, calling it off, doing a spin move and going into some push-ups over on turn 3.
Yep. What couldn't be seen at home, and I just had my eyes on the track at the right time. Chang actually left the track on his right leg and actually flung his left leg over. So it was almost like an apex jump up on his toe stops to land inbounds and upright to complete that jump. Like he actually had to pivot to get his left foot to land inbounds. Crazy. You'd almost pay money to watch that. In fact, you would. You
and
would.
Yeah, on the live stream, get it for free.
I'll get it for free. 401 Cutthroat Kings getting through, picking up lead at Jammer 4 Hitsquad or Brisbane City Rollers. Is that Bruiser then jamming for VMRD? It is indeed.
It is. It looks like they did possibly cop a bit of a whack to their face. And the message has been sent down the line. Unfortunately, their pivot is the furthest away from them at the moment. So they were trying to indicate, hey, I need to do a star pass.
Yep.
And Justin was too busy blocking right out the front of the pack. King's back in. Bad Wolf going to the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box.
Yeah, on a multi. I tell you what, this Brisbane blockers, Bad Wolf, Rump, Scottish, Daly, they are giving, or they were, I should say, part tense, they were giving Bruiser a hell of a time right down here. Bruiser was trying absolutely everything to get through the pack. Wasn't going to happen. Star pass done, and successfully so. Did we mention this game was going to be a close fought game between these two? And it's been like that the whole game. Just 2 points separating them. Victoria Men's on 56. Brisbane City Rollers on 54. We've got another team timeout.
And just quickly, Grim, yes, normally they would have a Skate Genius on the VMRD roster, but they are not playing today. And thank you for the Fafanui in Preston tip for possible skate repairs.
Oh, okay, yep. So we mentioned right at the very top of the broadcast, Jude, the venue, Darebin Community Sports Stadium, is where we are at for the next 3 days. We thank them so very much for allowing us to skate here and hold this tournament. What's not on the thank yous is the ECC organising committee. They have had an absolute treacherous, probably last 60 odd hours of finalising rosters and officials and God knows what. It has. I haven't got any words. It's just been.
The volunteer crew was here until after 11:30 last night.
That's just
crazy.
crazy.
Setting up, and didn't actually get it all through, so they actually pulled up at 6:30 this morning to start again.
Yep. That's just nuts. Big love to everybody that has poured an enormous amount of time and energy in getting this event up and running. We are all indebted to you. We really are. And of course, the streaming partner, Maven Mauve, is that?
Maven Mauve.
Maven Mauve. We thank them because we've got technology and toys that are just really good and fun, and I'm loving it.
I will also say, with special thanks to a Beardcast who couldn't be here today, but has actually lent us the gear to actually make this stream happen.
A recently new dad is Beardcast.
Exactly.
Congratulations to Beard and lovely wife and little Bubs, or Little Beard as we're now affectionately calling him.
Mini Beard.
Mini Beard, that's it.
And getting back to the action on track, we have Chantave just not even hopping, just jumping along the outside line on the apex, not apex, but on the outside of the apex.
Yep.
Get through for some points. We do have the star off and in hand for Riley. But Bad Wolf has been trying to stop Chantave.
Yeah.
And now has the star in hand and is springing on out of the pack.
Star pass in, successfully done. It's Bad Wolf now, the recognised jammer for BCR. Tell you what, Bad Wolf got the star and took right off. Wow.
And has managed to pick up points while the call-off was happening.
Picked up 2. Jeez. How fast were... That was incredible. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Chantave, when Chang gets up on the toe stops, there's only one other person I know that's got better dance moves. And Fred Astaire would be absolutely turning in his grave with.
Now, Jean Kelly.
Oh, Jean Kelly was very good.
And could roller skate.
And could. And in fact, Jean and Fred they actually did a number together in roller skates. I throw this to the Derby universe. If you can find what that movie was, there's no prize. I'll just be really thrilled that you could find it.
Well, we'll give you a shout out on stream.
Van Johnson also, another good dancer from back in the day.
And while we are having a little bit of a track repair, let's have a quick look at...
What are the teams doing?
Let's have a look at points.
Whoa, okay.
So it's actually, there's only been a couple of really big jams.
Yep.
And it's just proving it's a close game. It's a tight-fought game.
The first, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. First 8 jams, you could see it was pretty even between the two teams when they got out. Jam number 3 and 4. Obviously, Brisbane picked up 7 points. That looks like, if I'm reading that correctly. But in the last 4 or 5 jams,
we're getting some love being shouted out by.
We've got huge love in the back there. That's Jim Peckable giving us a wave. Playing him in 2 games. Thanks for that, Jim.
We have had a question in regards to the other stream.
Okay.
Basically, at the moment, because of the issues that were hit last night with setup, the other track had a delay in start of game. So the stream will be going live once they are ready and all technology and track has been properly laid. So the decision was made because that track had a spare gap game period.
Yep.
That they could actually push back the start time of the game without it affecting too much of the day. So yes, we are hoping to have that up and running as soon as possible. Probably, I don't know for certain, probably before halftime here, but can't quite really guarantee because that's all the way on the other side of the venue.
got a bit of an update on number 5-1, Sin from VMRD, and I'll cover that off when I get a sec. Wow.
Also, shout out to Amy Grimmer for saying Google says dance with me.
Ah, beautiful. Thanks, Amy. I knew they did a number together on skates. I'm kind of showing my age and the fact that I used to be involved in musical theatre. Anywho, we move on. Chop Blair and Faster Chiefs, the two jammers out on track. Well, this one then comes to an end because
Chief called it.
Chief called it. They had the points that they wanted. So just an update, 5-1 Sin from VMRD has just put up a post. A kingpin snap on his skates, and it looks brutal, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness!
It snapped right down the guts. They normally snap at the base. Anyway, I'm sure if there's anyone local that can help out, he will have got that sorted as we get Jam 23 underway.
Just under 2 minutes left of the game, and it's pretty spot on for period clock and jam clock.
Yep. Cutthroat Kings, Chang Tave. The two jammers on track. Cutthroat Kings are at the front of the pack coming through turn number 1 and 2. Just working the seam there, and the two VMRD blockers can't quite make out who they are, but they're saying, no, you're not going to get through just yet. Meanwhile, the big hit for Chang Tave.
Lovely, clear, no pass, no penalty signal from Disaster Chief on the outside.
Nicely done.
Not that it actually mattered in the end because Bad Wolf has completely drawn them back.
The recycle almost went back to the jammer start line. Incredible. So Chang with it all to do again. Unfortunately for Chang, it was a cut track. I would have thought Chang picked up on that. From where we're sitting, it was pretty clear, but I'm not going to say too much.
And yes, Grim, I know it's you, but I'm using your screen name, so it's your own fault.
Have we got chat going on between ourselves and the Derby fans at home?
We do indeed. I am.
Absolutely. Oh, nicely done. Oh, just...
Whoa. That was impressive.
Upright inbounds too. Nicely done by Kings.
Just showing off a little.
Tell you what, another point scoring pass here from Kings, and we are going to be all close to being tied right up. Oh, not quite.
Oh.
Not quite, but not far off it.
So we have intermission for the next 14 odd minutes.
We do, so we're going to take a break. My throat's actually giving me a little bit of grief this morning in case the fans at home haven't picked up. I'm pulling away from the mic and coughing my lungs up when I shouldn't be. Anyway, we find ourselves at half-time, Jude. It is 67 Brisbane City Rollers, Victoria Men's Roller Derby on 72. We're going to take a break.
We'll leave the... let's go to the BRB screen. We'll be back in a little bit.
Welcome back, Derby fans. Nearing the end of half time there, just a couple of minutes to go before we get the second half action underway between BCR Hitsquad and Victoria Men's Roller Derby. And what an entertaining first half it was. Pretty evenly matched teams, and I think the scoreboard reflects that. Just the 5 points then separating the two. A big shout out also to, on the weekend, to our enormously talented, cool and just brilliant people we call store holders, as I welcome Judy back to the microphone. Jude, I'm just letting the fans know at home that we've got some amazing store holders here this weekend. So neurodivergent, amazing handmade products. Welcome, thank you. Pineapple Page, fun, sassy stickers and gifts again to Pineapple Page, thank you. Flea bags, fantastic handmade gifts. Talk Derby to me, obviously a very big supporter, long-time supporter of roller derby here in Victoria. And we've got Dragon City, Geelong and Victoria Men's Roller Derby all have stalls here over the course of the weekend. So to all our store holders, we thank them very much for giving up their time and providing their product.
And for those of you who have been chilling in our stream while waiting for track 1 to get underway, I do believe that track 1 should be up and running now. There might have been 1 or 2 jams missed on the stream, but stream has been sent live. So for those of you who are waiting for that one, you might want to pop on over to that live stream. However, this live stream...
This live stream, we're just absolutely ticking all the boxes.
And it looks like we're about to get underway again. And we're starting off with Chantave up against Dropler. This has been a fantastic matchup between the two. Yep. I mean, you called it right from the start that this was one to watch, and it's definitely living up to it.
Yep. And I think the versatility that Brisbane have in either swapping out Dropler and putting Cutthroat Kings in to stop and or nullify Chantave's impact on the game it's a trump card that, geez, I reckon a lot of bench coaches would love to have, to be able to, flip those two skaters around. But Chang just does what Chang does. And at the moment, and so far in this game, Chang's doing all the Chang things. So,
but to be fair, Dropler is doing all the Dropler things, and
just
Cutthroat Kings, just a lazy odd apex or two.
What I would love to find for the fans at home, and might have a look at it if we can, seeing how many points each jammer has actually accumulated to this point. Again, some very handy data that bench coaches would love to be able to get their hands on.
We currently have Cutthroat Kings as lead.
Yep.
Faster Chief has managed to finally get out on their initial pass. And that just looks like Kings just skated on through.
Yep. Kings is one of those rare jammers, Judy, that they just find space where there's probably no space to be found, to be honest. So
the backwards through.
Yep.
And we've had a bit of a lead change there.
We have. This was always going to happen, I feel? I'll get my words right. I felt that this was always going to happen. I can't word today. I'm really hopeless. And I do apologise to the fans at home if I'm coming across as being muddled.
I was just going to say, you're missing Lucky Phil, who used to play for VMRD.
Also a very good skater in his own right, Lucky Phil.
So scores now, Hitsquad is 81, the Valkyries is 76. That was a beautiful 12-point jam there by Kins. And it looks like we're going into Bruiser for VMRD.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks like... Is that Bobbins?
Yes, I believe so. Correction, it's Riley. That's coming up on our screen. I haven't got my glasses on, so I'm useless from this point on.
Yeah, we are on a bit of an angle away
Just a bit.
away from things. So
Just a bit.
we do have to rely on the scorekeepers to get names up quickly. Riley has come out for their initial pass. Perusa has been picking up points, calling it off. And that looks like it was a 4-0 to bring it within 1.
Mm. Derby fans at home, how do you like your games? Nice and close. Well, we've got one coming right at you, 81-80.
I will say, I am glad I am not benching this.
Yep.
I do not like benching close games.
No. So we've got the matchup again. Judy, we've got Chang Tae, Drop Blair, VMRD, BCR out on track. Oh, nicely done, Drop Blair. I don't know if it was an apex jump, but airborne on the main straightaway and somehow managed to get past the VMRD blocker there. Brilliantly done. And to pick up lead too, I might add.
Chante is managing to get out with a little bit of a star stash.
I wonder if we see from Brisbane this kind of hit it and quit it. Just get through, get your points, call it off. Get through, if you can get lead, that is.
Start pulling out a little bit of a
gap. We saw it in a game, I think you and I commentated last year, Kingston and Westside. Westside just clawed, got in front, and then you just did this. 4 points, done. 4 points, done. 4 points, done. And before you knew it, they had a nice little buffer. So,
well, we've just had a timeout call for what?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a quick look at the penalties.
Yep.
And just see how we're tracking now.
Yeah, okay.
Again, still relatively clean.
And what I see there, and what if I was a bench manager, I'm looking at that going, my two main jammers, Cutthroat Kings and Drop Blair, have got nothing against their name. So towards the end of this game, if things start to really tighten up, you can tell those skaters, hey, just go for it. Go as hard as you have to.
And their main pivot also has no penalties, which, again, it just gives so much freedom.
That's a bit of a get out of jail free, that, having both your primary or your jammers with nothing against their name. Interesting.
This one is okay. To be fair, we have mentioned a lot of penalties for VMRD, so
yes, we have.
Not overly surprising because I remember mentioning Honey a couple of times.
Yep.
And the other thing is, Honey is actually used to being in this position where has picked up relatively quickly a number of penalties.
Yep.
And then managing to skate clean sometimes. You know, she does what she needs to do to hopefully get the win. And
yeah. But again, as a bench manager, I'm looking at that going, okay, 4 with what? 18, 19, 20 odd minutes left in the game. You're starting to get into that sort of, okay, we need to preserve. Back live then. We get jam number 5 underway. Bob and Basher fast achieve the 2 jammers out on track. VMRD blockers dead set in front of us. Giving Bob and Basher a whole lot to think about. Bob and then trying to find some territory to the inside part of turn number 1. It's not going to work.
I'm just going to say Rumpy there with the beautiful offense just to smash things up.
Rump is one of those skaters who is just so game switched on. It's, yeah. Look at the drawback here. 117 fast achieve taken all the way back to the jammer start line. Nicely done there from Bad Wolf. I'm pretty sure that was. Scottish making a trip to the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box. So the block advantage then now in favour of VMRD. But more importantly, though, Judy, VMRD have lead. Fast Chief has, well, basically the game right where they want it at the moment.
Star pass has just happened.
So 2 blockers, in fact, from both teams. One Scottish on a forearms, other Sin on a cut track. Scottish obviously from Brisbane City Rollers, other Sin, Victoria Men's Roller Derby.
It is really nice seeing Scottish down here. Scottish has been a big part of the statewide stampede in Victoria. So we've missed him over the last couple of seasons.
Yes.
He was telling me earlier, should be back for a little bit more.
Excellent. Hell of a nice guy to have a beer with at the airport waiting for a flight too. 4:01 then, Cutthroat Kings getting on through the pack. Nice and quick for Brisbane City Rollers. Lead Jammer going the way of Kings, not to be outdone, giving up probably a half track.
We have Just Incredible.
Just Incredible, so the star pass then is complete. It was Bruiser taking the Jammer start line.
And the Deadly Sports penalty box has been cleared. Other Sin managing to get out just in time.
Nicely done. It's what we'd like to see is a full complement of skaters on track.
And it looks like we have a tied game.
Stop it.
89 apiece.
What is this?
Entertainment.
It is entertainment, and it is of a very, very high standard. Make no mistake about that. Chang Tae, nicely done up on the toe stops, gets on through Victoria Men's Roller Derby and Lead Jammer. Riley has a little bit of work to do. Nicely done though. Got pushed to the outside part of turn number 1, but managed to stay inbounds. So both teams now, if they're getting lead, they're getting points, they're calling it off. They're trying to get that buffer, and it's not quite working.
And it looks like they're sending Chantave out once again. This time up against Drop Blair.
Hold on to your hats. This could be wild.
This could go any which way.
Yep. Just like the Jammers. Drop Blair out front, just trying to negotiate a pathway through, and successfully so. Lead Jammer.
I'm expecting we're going to get a bit of a fast pack going.
Yep. So giving up about a quarter track to Chang Tae at the moment. I reckon Chang Tae's going to set himself. No, I was wrong. So I'll shut up and not make a comment on something that wasn't going to happen. Oh, nicely done. Drop Blair to the inside part of turn number 4.
I was watching that going, both teams setting up on the apex.
Yep.
What do we expect? So you weren't the only one thinking that.
Frequent flyer points was what I was looking for, but it wasn't to happen. Anyway. So Chang Tae then getting through the pack, picking up 4 points then for Victoria Men's Roller Derby. Drop Blair just momentarily caught up on the main straightaway. Honey Collider taking Drop Blair to the inside part of the main straight. Oh, nicely done, Chang Tae, just that one blocker to get through, and nicely done.
That was beautiful blocking there.
Yep.
Not of the Jammer, but of the other blocker.
Yep.
With Other Sin taking Rumpy out of the gameplay.
Yep. It's a forearms in, unfortunately, for a rump. So a visit to the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box. Also, Honey Collider making a trip to the penalty box.
I wasn't sure if that was just a misheard or...
Well, Honey Collider's penalties come up as a question mark. There's a new penalty.
Yeah, so Honey started to report
was it report to serve?
Started to come off the track when Rumpy came off.
Okay.
So I think there was a little bit of confusion as to which one of those two actually got the penalty.
Okay.
I believe Rumpy might now be...
Yeah, I reckon they're going to correct this.
And double checking, making sure the right person's gone in.
Yep. I tell you what's also noticeable as we look around the stadium, certainly to our left, Judy, is a lot of fans going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, keeping these skaters and referees it's actually starting to warm up in this building, so we're expecting a top temperature today around the low 30s, around 33, something like that. So,
and I think tomorrow's going to be even warmer.
Self-preservation and keeping self well hydrated is absolute name of the game today.
Okay, it looks like I was correct.
Yeah.
Honey has been released from the penalty box, so that was Honey self-reported.
Yep.
Mishearing the 000 as 007.
Yep.
And I mean, in that situation,
Not hard to do, considering how close their numbers are, yeah.
it's also, you don't want to be that person who ends up getting 2 penalties because you didn't report when
Yes.
it was you being called. Better to be safe than sorry.
And the reason we're talking so much about Honey whilst we've still got the break, no, that's the team roster. See, I told you I would bugger this up.
That one.
There you go. Yeah.
The one that says penalties.
The one that says penalties. Thank the Lord there's only one of me. Yeah, right at the very top of the screen there, Derby fans, Honey Collider 007, currently on 4. Would not have wanted that to be a penalty, sitting on 5. And what you was just saying, you wouldn't want that to be the penalty that you didn't serve and then cop a double, taking that to 6. Then you're in all sorts.
Especially when there's still 19 minutes left.
Yeah. Back live now. Still under an official timeout. I think it's truck repair more than anything else.
And just double checking all the I's crossed and the T's dotted.
As one should do. So we get jam number 9 lit. And we have Cutthroat Kings Faster Chief. The 2 jammers on the jammer start line. Cutthroat Kings out the front though. Honey Collider saying, no, I'm not going to be letting you through. Pointy Jovi also making the same statement, but Cutthroat Kings get through nicely. Lead jammer BCR giving up about a half track or thereabouts to Faster Chief. I wouldn't be surprised if Kings runs this one for as long as possible. Just taking a bit of a seat there in the middle part of the main straightaway was Kings.
Well, I mean, he's worked hard.
Yeah.
Deserves a bit of a rest.
Nothing in it, just got muddled up and caught up in the pack and ended up on his backside and thought, I've seen enough.
Yeah, been there, done that.
And preserves the scoreline too, just the 2 points Kings conceded. So just the 5 points then separating the 2 teams with 18 minutes to go.
And we have Bruiser, and I think that might be Riley. I'm just waiting for the scoreboard to confirm.
Yep.
Yes, it's Riley. Riley out first for lead, but Bruiser is right behind, right on their tail. And coming back from the Deadly Sports penalty box has been a chaotic K for Brisbane City.
Pack now got a bit of, oh, sorry about that. Pack had a bit of speed coming off of turn 4 before I decided to blow the microphone up.
That was a bit of a knee slide around calling it. I'm not sure if they actually lost their footing or if they just decided to do something a little bit stylish.
With the scoreline as close as it is, I just had a thought before that jam was called off, and I was going to actually make comment on it. You'd probably want to throw, if you're BCR, you probably want to throw Drop Blair out there now. And guess what? They've thrown Drop Blair out on track against Chang Tave. So if Drop Blair can get lead. Poof.
And we have had track maintenance official timeout called. So unfortunately, this doesn't actually give us the number of the jammer.
No, it doesn't. I'd love to know the percentage of lead and points. That would be awesome. Anyway.
I'll put a request in, see what we can do tonight.
Oh. Don't work any harder than what you've all had to work so far to actually get this tournament up and running. So
I'm sure Nicola will love me just going, hey, can you add in this stat and that stat for me? But yeah, one of those 12 points for VMRD towards the, that would be Chantave.
Yep. And I reckon 3 jams prior to that, There was a 16-point jam put on, and I reckon that was Drop Blair. Live pictures then, back with the action. And just like that, Drop Blair doing what we were just talking about. If you can get out and get lead, Drop Blair, lead jammer, BCR, giving up almost a full track to Chang Tave, now coming off of turn number 2, heading on down the back straightaway. Just incredible, taking Drop Blair out to the outside part of the main straight. And before Chang could do anything to the scoreline, Drop Blair thought, nah, that'll do.
And we've got a couple of people in comments. Genevieve with, yeah, Rizla, and Christina with good defence daily.
No.
And yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
This game, it's been tight the whole way through. The blockers are just killing it in terms of they're making the jammers work for it. And
yep.
And the jammers are there putting on a show for us.
It really is a game of defences, isn't it? And it's going to be whose defence, I don't want to say weakens, but whichever team can take advantage of the other team's defence is going to win this game. And at the moment, just with the 3 points separating these two teams, you feel that this could actually go down to the last jam. Who do you throw out on track then? Good luck.
Do we get one of those mythical overtime jams?
You could.
The one that rarely ever pops up and everyone gets confused as to how it runs.
Yep. So 117, Faster Chief then, jamming for Victoria Men's Roller Derby. And Bob and Basher jamming for Brisbane City Rollers. Just trying to work the seam there on the two VMRD blockers. Coming through turns number 1 and 2. And Chief gets on through the pack. Nicely done to the outside part of turn 2. Picks up lead jammer. So the initial pass is all done then for Faster Chief. It's all points for them for here on in. Star passing successfully done for BCR. The new recognised jammer hasn't come up on our screen. It would have been Chaotic.
That was an interesting tactic. I'm not sure if I liked it or not, but it was an interesting tactic there. So I'm not sure if you realise Chaotic K actually slowed right down as they were approaching, because at that stage VMRD had been drawn back to the back of the pack and wasn't calling it because they were waiting for them to come up. Yep. But they were wasting time because they had Rumpy in the Deadly Sports penalty box. So they've just taken some of that time off for Rumpy so then they can get back into the new jam quicker.
Yep, and with a full complement of skaters, hopefully. No, Rumpy's still in the penalty box. Okay. I thought, yeah, okay.
But they burnt about 10 seconds.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we now have Kins versus Bruiser.
Yep.
Kins out first for lead. Bruiser doing a lovely little wave around of the star to try and get Honey's attention. Kins has picked up 4 points. Bruiser has managed to come out on the initial, put in the helmet cover back on. Kins has picked up another 4 points, done a little bit of a pirouette to come on out of the pack, given a bit of a wave to the crowd. Bruiser almost made it out of the pack but got hit out and has now been drawn right back. Kins is keeping it running, picking up some more points. And I mean, in this one, you can kind of understand why they are running it because, you know, Kins has already picked up 8 points before Bruiser managed to get out.
We're seeing all the tactics at play here. Make no mistake about that. And Kings is doing exactly what needs to be done. It's another 4 points then. And we should have a lead change. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
There you go. So we're
Actually, no.
No.
1 point the difference.
Oof. So we're on track 2 at the moment. So coming up at around about 11 o'clock, we have the second game here for today. It's Westside Roller Derby Glory versus SSRD Sirens. Oof.
Yeah, one of our Div 1 games for today.
Yeah. And I was going to say, over on track 1 at the same time, we have DCRD, the Dragon City, Chico Rollers.
Not at the exact same time.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm looking at, yep, no, yep.
So on track 1, it will be the second part of the late starting
Right, yes.
LCD versus Crash.
Okay,
and then there will be a little bit of a gap before the game after that.
But I got the first part of that right?
Yeah.
Right, cool. As long as I'm getting something right, I'm happy with that.
And in terms of what's happening over on track 1,
yes, please.
Light City Derby is a 96
Yep.
to Crash 41.
So Light City, obviously, across from South Australia. And Crash, I want to say, from Sydney?
New South Wales.
New South Wales, yep. Okay. To be fair, though, Light City certainly, over the years, have had some very, very strong teams. So I'm not surprised at that scoreline, I have to say. But you never know. Early days.
Well, with the upcoming Sirens versus Westside game, we do have a couple of people who will be coming straight out of this game and going straight into that game. Basically changing tops and then heading straight back out.
I hope your fitness regime over the summer break's been there or thereabouts, because if it's not, I think you're going to get found out later on today. But most of the skaters look after themselves pretty well.
I'm just thinking straight up off the top of my head, we've got Bruiser, Honey, and Other Sin who will be
changing tops
and heading back out there.
Yep.
And then there'll be a couple changing tops to become bench crew.
Yep. I've often said this, Judy, and I'm happy to do it again, and I will go on record as saying, if people want to look at roller derby skaters and go, oh, but you're not really athletes. No, I'm sorry, they might not be of the highest level, but they are athletes, and no roller derby skater, in my opinion, should ever have to defend themselves or need to feel that they've got to defend themselves as to whether or not they're athletes. They are, and most of these athletes do look after themselves. Most of these athletes do have some sort of off-skates program, i.e. gyms and whatnot, nutrition and all that sort of stuff. So they do look after themselves. They're not AFL or NRL or whatever, or basketball or netball or all that sort of stuff. But I invite anyone who thinks that they can do what these athletes are doing, be my guest, because 90% of the population out there, you put roller skates on them and they'll fall over. So believe me, these skaters are fit, they are strong, and they're darn good at what they do.
But all of them will tell you, we do not run.
No running in this fitness regime, sorry.
That's the one standard across the board.
Yep.
Although Faster Chief does look like they are running on skates. So that might be a bit of the alternate method, the way around it, the loophole.
Yep. I've just had a warm beverage from this venue. I must say, it's not bad coffee. Very nice indeed. Hit the spot, it did.
Just having a quick look at comments coming in. Ida saying thanks for the stream and
Awesome.
hearts.
No worries, Ida.
Ida, we miss you.
Yes.
And Anna with Duchess, such a champ. What a way to start their derby journey.
Hey, okay. Big shout out to all the fans that are watching at home. We trust that you are enjoying this game as much as we are giving it to you. And yeah, it's a crazy, crazy game. There's nothing in it.
And once again, giving a big, big lot of love and thoughts for our friends from Queensland.
And Northern New South Wales, yep.
Yeah. So this is the small contingent from BCR who managed to get down here with a friend in Noms. But, you know, everyone, we hope you are staying safe and doing what you need to do to protect yourselves.
Yep.
We do miss you. Things would be so much more entertaining with you all here.
Exactly.
But we completely understand this is completely out of your control.
100%. Unfortunately, Mother Nature does not run to any schedule whatsoever. Rah, BCR for sure. Jam timer says 5 seconds. Jam timer says, let's go. We have then Drop Blair, Chang Tave, the two jammers out on track. And just like that, Drop Blair gets on through, lead jammer. Not to be outdone though, Chang Tave also through the pack. About a quarter track in favour of Drop Blair at the minute. Senses that, gets the jets lit and thinks, no, I've got to get points here before I call it off, and does just that. I think just a 3 points in. No, just the one. Okay. So with that 1 point, Jude, it is 117 Brisbane Victoria Men's Roller Derby 120, and we've got 10.5 minutes to go.
And so just a couple more comments.
Yep.
We'd be enjoying it much more if we weren't stuck in Queensland.
Oh.
And thanks, folks. We're all here watching, at least those of us with power.
Oh, God. Again, we can't say it enough. We're thinking of y'all. Just stay safe. That's the main thing.
There'll be more derby later.
I don't know too many people outside of Brisbane. Obviously, Scotty, who's here and skating very, very well. Another one, very, very well-known skater, Jambi, if you're watching. You're an absolute superstar. I've said this to you many times. And various posts and whatever on socials and stuff. Just take care of yourselves. And Derby will always be around. Don't worry about that. What do we got here? Well, we have got 401 Cutthroat King.
On a power jam.
On a power jam and lead jammer. So for Cutthroat, it's all about getting as many points as possible.
Calling it.
And called it. Okay.
Scare Bear, I believe, over there with the call it.
Tactical. Gives them a power jam start. And they can put probably one of their strongest jammers out. Maybe. Don't know.
This is where it's the years of watching derby, benching derby and all that kind of stuff. You start going, okay, this is what I would do in this situation, and that's not always what happens.
And that's a bench manager who really knows their team strengths and what each skater can do. Lead changer too, I might point out, 121, 120. I just caught that, sorry, Jude.
And we have Bob and Basher out for lead. And they basically have almost a full 30 seconds on this power jam. Bruiser has just stood up within the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box. But that's not going to worry Bob and Basher too much. We have Bruiser back out and going straight into the pack. Chaotic K doing a little bit of reffing from the game.
Chaos would want to be careful. You're voicing your opinion and your concerns to the head ref, who will have no qualms in sending you to the penalty box on a double if you keep that sort of stuff up. But anyway.
At this stage, nothing came from it, which, you know.
Yeah.
And Gina with, is that Wolf from Team Australia out there? I believe that is Wolf from Team Australia out there.
Wow.
Bad Wolf has been playing a blinder of a game out there currently as pivot.
So both teams then chucking out their jammers, or two of their stronger jammers, I guess. I don't know if that's politically correct or incorrect, whatever. Chang Tave, though, unfortunately, it's an early visit to the Sports Deadly Plus, the Deadly Sports Plus penalty box. I'll get that right before the weekend's out. So what we have is Drop Blair with the track and as many points available to gather.
Chantave has been released before the calling off of the jam, but it's just given that little bit of breathing space. Not a large breathing space, but that little bit of breathing space to the Hitsquad.
Yep.
And Grim was quite appreciative of the slice that Bruiser did earlier on.
Yeah.
Saying that was brutal. And it looks like we do have Chantave up again, going 2 in a row up against Riley. Riley's managing to push the pack to the front. Honey having to drop off to do some offense to try and get Chantave out, but Nom's managing to hold Chantave. Riley is out for lead. And this is kind of one of those moments where it feels like the momentum shifted just that little bit.
Yeah. It has in the last 2 or 3 jams. And this is what Brisbane would have been looking for, just something that they can take advantage of. And all it was, as I said before, get a couple of lead jams, control the game, get a couple of points called off, give yourself a little bit of a buffer, which is what they've got now, 13-point buffer. And now, with 5 minutes to go, with the jammers that they've got, and remember we spoke earlier on about Brisbane and their 2 main jammers in Kings and Blair. They haven't got any penalties against their name, so they can go extra hard if they have to.
Whereas I believe Chan might have 3 penalties now.
We might cover that off in the
next lineup.
In the next lineup, yeah. So we'll get jam number 20, if you don't mind, sorted out.
In which we have Faster Chief up against Cutthroat Kings.
Yeah. Again, this is playing out beautifully for Brisbane. Cutthroat Kings at the front of the pack, exactly where he wants to be. Honey Collider, just incredible. And can't see the other skater there.
I think it was Gamma Star.
Yep.
But we do have Chief out as lead.
So again, exactly what VMRD were looking for. Lead, control. And giving up about a half track.
Interesting tactic coming here from VMRD. They have called for a train. They want to keep this going.
Yeah, they need to.
They do need to, because with 4 minutes left, the only way you're going to make up points is if you take a couple of risks.
Yep.
But Kins is such a strong jammer that it's really, really hard to see how this is going to play out.
I was surprised to see Kings take as long as he did to get off the track there. I mean, granted, he's probably just about halfway spent. So I do say this, Kings, if you watch his game back, I do say it with a heck of a lot of respect, mate. Please don't think otherwise. But I would have been like, no, I've got to get up and get back into this. But, you know, I think he's got some issues with his. He's going for his elbow pads a lot, especially on that left arm. He's coming across and doing this a lot, adjusting it. Whether it's just what he does, I don't know. Interesting.
So that was, I think, an 8-4 jam, with Chief managing to pick up 8 points, closing the gap a little bit, but still Brisbane holding that little bit.
Yep.
And we now have a very late timeout being called.
Yeah, Brisbane were always going to do that, because in the last 2 jams, VMRD have picked up a little bit of momentum. So how do you stop momentum if you can't do it on the track? Call a timeout.
So let's just flick over to
I'll let you run this because I bugger it up every time I press buttons and things blow up.
I was right.
Oh.
Chantave, 3 penalties.
Yep.
And so he's probably been the most effective of the jammers for VMRD.
Yeah.
But you're also giving away points when you're sitting in the penalty box.
You bench manage Diamond Firetails. You look at that and you go, okay, you got 3 penalties, Chang. Do you just go, nah, bugger it, mate, throw everything, including the kitchen sink at it, or do you go into preservation mode?
It really depends on the opposition.
Yeah.
And in this case, you're going to have to throw everything at it.
Yeah. And I say that because if you look on the other side of the equation, their 2 main jammers have got nothing, so they can afford to go, you know what, just go for it, mate. Go as hard as you like.
Take the risk.
Take the risk, exactly. All right, it's the end of the timeout. We are back live. And who should it be for BCR on the jammer start line? None other than Jock Blair. And guess who is joining them on the jammer start line? Chang Tave. Derby fans, hold on to your hats. I reckon this one's going to be an absolute belter of a jam.
And we've gotten some love here for Bob and Basher. So we get some great jam comments.
Yep.
And Rye Dog.
Oh, nicely done.
But was that an apex on the straight?
It was an apex on the straight. Just as the end of the straight becomes the apex, Chang found some territory, lead jammer VMRD.
A 4-0 jam. And that looks like Dropler is having a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
Lying down on the side of the track, and Rumpy came in for a slide to show Dropler how you're supposed to pose when you do that slide.
Yep. All we need now is the awesome, the brilliant. I'll cover that off in just a sec. 5 points then, separating these 2 teams. 2 minutes to go. How do you like your Derby fans?
So I believe we have Riley out there and Chang Tae for, is this
nice.
3rd in a row?
Yeah, 3rd in a row.
And also penalty going back, giving Riley a power jam.
Yep.
And BCR definitely needed this just to really help to cement that lead, cement that control.
Yeah.
Because there's only a minute and a half left on the period clock, and the jam clock is almost identical. So yes, this is the last minute and a half of this game.
And we have a
Skater down.
skater down, so we might take a bit of a break.
We'll be back shortly. Thankfully, the skater who was down that they called it off for is up, moving around by themselves. All good, but very quick action there by Nick from Deadly Sports Plus to go over and double check things out. And we do have a timeout for VMRD.
And VMRD calling that timeout in the exact same manner as BCR did a few jams back, when momentum is starting to go against you. If you can't stop it on the track or nullify it on the track, you call a team timeout. That stops it. As I look across the other side of the track here, Jude, the other next 2 teams to hit this track are all geared up, ready to rock and roll. Of course, I speak of SSRD and Westside. Be interesting to see how Westside go. Strong team.
I do have a brilliant comment here from Scare Bear. And
Scare Bear, yes.
I am hoping that this comes true.
Yep.
I'm keeping Hammer updated via Hitsquad chat. Hammer says Kins needs to do a flip, preferably a backflip, but he's not picky.
Wow.
Do it for Lismore.
Ooh.
And lining up as a jammer
It
is
is
Kins. And he is going to be on a power jam
That's it.
start.
Scare Bear was the other skater I was trying to think of before. Sorry, Scare Bear. Missing ya. Hoping you're safe. Obviously you are, and you're watching at home as we get this jam underway.
Old
pack.
school pivot start.
Yeah, right. Working to the outside part of turn number 2, and then back into the inside part of turn number 2. Kings gets on through lead jammer BCR, and giving up around about a quarter of a track to.
Okay, I see what.
You see
We're going to be playing keepings off.
Yep.
Jammers to the jammers are hoping that the blockers will get to the front as they're trying to hold off on calling it, but giving up points.
And
we.
Oh.
Was that an official review
It
call?
is. It is no one. Do you want to?
I'll go for a
You
walk.
want to go? Okay. So Jude is just making a trip into the middle of the track there. We've got our first official review for this game. So we'll find out what that is all about. I hope all the fans at home are enjoying this day one action, game one action for East Coast Clash. Okay, so they're using the official review as a timeout. Again, all the gameplay coming into play. And you do what you must, as I welcome Judy back to the mic.
So there should be a couple of seconds left on the clock.
Yep.
When that got called.
So using an official review as a timeout, yeah.
To get one more jam,
Yep.
considering it's so close. Completely understandable.
I think I said it a few jams ago. How do you like your roller derby fans? Nice and close? Well, this is what we've got.
And in response to your comments to Scare Bear earlier, it's okay. It's boring in Brisbane.
Oh, no.
At home, thank goodness for stream.
Lovely to have you with us, Scare Bear. Would love to have yourself and all the other BCR reps down here in good old Vic, but not to be, unfortunately. As I said before, Jude, Mother Nature, she does not operate to any schedule or anything like that. If she wants to play havoc, she's going to do it.
Let me have a quick look.
For an official review that's been used as a team timeout, there's an awful lot of conversation going on in the middle there. I'm just wondering whether that's been flipped.
Potentially. I can't be bothered
Looks
running
like
over now. But yes, that actually does look like there is discussion happening.
Quotable quote. I can't really be bothered right now. I'm just going to write that down. Just bear with me a second.
If I had my actual normal live stream setup going, you could add that to the quotes.
Yes. So whilst we've got a little bit of time up our sleeve,
I'm just having a quick look at
I just want
track one.
Oh, okay. What's going on over there, please?
Crash on 44.
Yep.
LCD on 100, and there's a minute left of intermission.
Oh. So LCD well and truly in control of that game for the time being, at least. Normally I wouldn't pump my own tyres up, but I'm going to do it just a little bit, only because I'm sitting next to someone who is an awesome person.
Aww.
And a good derby friend. We've known each other now for a long, long time. We've
Very
called
much so.
a few games together over the journey, but this is my 250th game as a commentator. So,
And you
yay.
didn't tell me earlier?
That's all right.
I
Hey, hold on. We've had more important and pressing matters to deal with, Jude, to be honest.
Yeah, but I could have blown, you know.
Nah, it's all right. Yay, good on me.
Okay, lots of smiles from Spanners. I'm
Yep.
trying to work out the
You're trying to read visual cues, body cues here.
the gesticulations.
Yes,
Ooh, can I put that as the word of the day?
you can.
Okay, I don't know if
Next to
anyone's
the-
going to care.
Next to the other quotable quote of, I can't really be bothered right now. Aaron, or should I say Sin, the original Sin, 5-1, not really concerned with what was being said or what transpired in the middle there. So we move on, and I believe this will be the last jam. Get loud, Derby fans. Bang your hands together, even if you are at home, because this jam is going to be, it's going to be on, I reckon. Well, it's going to happen. Of course it's going to happen.
So that official review ended up being a BCR one. So it was to begin with being used as a timeout, and then BCR decided to call it. Fast Chief has gotten out for lead. Hold on to your hats, people. This is gonna get crazy. Kins is still in the pack, making their way through. They've got nice recycling there. So they've got 3 to beat. Chief is picking up points. Yeah. And things are just a little bit rattled there for BCR. A bit too long of a break.
Yep.
Kins going up against Justin, but Chief is picking up more points. And now it's only on the jam time, so he's been given. Yep. They've been given the go-ahead to call it, which means
no, stop it.
We've had a score change in the very last jam.
2 points. Wow.
The unofficial score. Victorian men's roller derby Valkyries on 143 to the Brisbane City Rollers Hitsquad 141.
Whoa.
And there goes the rolling whistle. Game over.
Wow. If that's the standard for the rest of the weekend, look out.
That
what a
for the first game of the tournament.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. It doesn't get much better than that.
And with that, we're going to leave it there.
Yep.
I've been Judy Bench.
I've been JR. Thanks so much for your company as we wrap this one up again. Brisbane City Rollers 141, Victoria Men's Roller Derby victorious 143. Fans are coming down trackside now. We're going to bugger off, Jude, because we've had enough. Thanks so much for all the fans at home for tuning in.